Hi everyone, welcome. Today we're talking about the fear of judgment, from others that we all experience. We're not immune to it. Not anybody on the planet is immune to judgment. Just purely because of the nature of human beings. And I just wanted to talk to you about facing the fear of judgment, where it comes from, why we do fear it, and also what we can do and to help ourselves to go for whatever in life makes us happy, and to go for our dreams, and to really pursue a life that we would be happy with. So yeah, that obviously fear of judgment does tend to keep us safe and stuck where we are. Hi Alex, and everyone else that's on. So I just wanted to touch upon that tonight. Hi Monica. So no one is immune to judgment, and no one likes it. Like, no one likes to be judged. It's part of life, and it's not a very nice thing to have and take on, and it's just not a very nice feeling. So there's a couple of things that we can do. So my notes are here, so I don't go off on a tangent. So I will be looking over here and at you at the same time. So no one likes to receive judgment from others. So this could be from colleagues at work, it can be from our family, our friends, from complete strangers on social media or in the street. You know, we can encounter judgment from absolutely everywhere in every part of our lives, and it's something that can really start to sort of hold us back and keep us stuck where we are. But the reason why we do fear this judgment is because we have an innate sense of needing to fit in, to an innate sense of needing to be liked and loved for who we are. But we tend to try and fit in and do our best to conform and not be different so that we won't be judged. So it's actually something that's very primal. So if you think about like long time ago in tribal times, what would happen is that you would be in a tribe, you'd be in your family, you were in your tribe, and if any reason that you had to come away from that tribe, say you were cast out or you were doing something that you was in conflict with this tribe, and you were cast out, you wouldn't survive. You would have no protection from your tribe anymore. You would have no protection from other tribes coming. You would have no protection from wild animals, you know, things like that. The point is that society has moved on, obviously, from then, but our brains actually haven't. Our brains are still programmed to fear this judgment, and fear to, I must fit in, and I must conform. And it really, you know, it's portrayed in our lives, and it's sort of projected onto our lives from a young age. It's definitely, for obviously, when you're a child, you get told to behave a certain way. You know, you might have been told like kids should be seen and not heard, and things like that. We're told to behave in a certain way, and especially at school as well, we're told to conform in a certain way, and we get judged on if you don't conform and if you don't behave in a certain way too, and that stems through school years into teens. You know, we're told like a billion times a day that the way we look is not enough, and that's from social media. And we're told that like all day long, that we're not enough, we don't look a certain way, then we're not enough and we don't fit in. And that's why there's so much pressure on young teens nowadays, and also adults as well. And we tend to let this fear of judgment keep us from doing the things that we actually want to do. You know, perhaps it's, I want to start a new job, perhaps I want to train as something else, perhaps I want to start my own business. You know, I'm creative and I can create these things, but I couldn't sell them. Who am I to sell them? Who would buy them from me? Things like that. Maybe it's doing videos, maybe you'd love to do that, but you have a fear of judgment of your videos, talking on a video and putting yourself out there, saying what you really think is a good one. Perhaps you have a fear of judgment of actually saying how you actually feel, and perhaps it's talking about your mental health. Maybe that's something that's holding you back because you're scared of what people think of you know, how you actually feel inside and how you maybe perhaps aren't coping very well, or maybe you find things difficult. That might be a fear of yours, fear of judgment, talking and opening up to somebody about it. And I really love this quote about, you know, not being able to go for our dreams because of this fear of judgment. It's a really good quote. It's the number one biggest killer of dreams is what will others think. That is the number one biggest killer of going for your dreams, is worrying about what other people would think about our decision and think about our choice in life. And it's just crazy how we sort of rein ourselves back and we try and fit in with everyone else, and not want to go for things that can make us happy and we'd be really successful at. And it's just crazy to feel like that, and it's crazy that we feel like we have to do that. And it's something that we need to get past. So, you know, in my experience, I had a friend. He wasn't, you know, really a friend at all when you look back on it. But she used to talk about me behind my back. She would belittle me in front of everyone else. She would belittle me. She would actually isolate me from all of my other friends or our mutual friends. She would make sure that I had absolutely no support network. She would make sure that I had no friends, and she would turn them against me. And that's something that really affected me, because that spanned over a number of years. And it's bullying. This is in adulthood, by the way. This was just a few years ago. So this was something that really affected me. The fear of judgment wise, you know, the fear of being talked about, the fear of being judged for whatever I say and do. So what I did was that I stopped going out. I used to organise like girls' nights in, girls' nights out. I didn't do that anymore, and I just stopped doing all of that. I stopped saying how I felt. I tried to rein in what I said in public and talked about. I really just felt completely isolated and too scared to actually say or do anything, because I knew that this girl was watching me. I knew that she was going to judge me, and I knew that she was just going to wreak havoc basically amongst my sort of friendships. And I really sort of you know, lost some friends. I lost some friends and lost confidence in it. And then obviously I started to realise that actually this is actually holding me back on a lot of things. You know, I couldn't go out, I couldn't like see friends that I used to see, and I couldn't, you know, do the things, and it really sort of consumed me at home as well. I would feel really low in confidence about myself just because of this fear of what she was saying about me and things like that, and the fear of judgment. And I realised that it wasn't helping me, and I thought, well, why should I be missing out on life just because of her opinion and just because of what she decides to do? At the end of the day, she was a bully, and at the end of the day, we all are going to have them in our lives. But the point is, are we going to stop them from creating a life that we're going to be really happy with, creating a life that is in alignment for who we are and what we want to do? So that's something really to sort of ask yourself, like, what's it worth? You know, is it worth like listening to all the judgment, and is it worth being stuck and so scared of doing anything? Or do you want to live? Do you want to do the things that you love to do? Things like that. So it's definitely a good question to ask yourself. So leading on to that is that we can never lead a life without this judgment. It's always going to be there. So we can have judgment on all sorts of things, and it's because of their own insecurities that they actually transfer their judgment onto us. Like, you know, their insecurities about how they look and how they parent to us, how parent differently to us. You know, those are the sorts of things that the reasons why people judge us and people judge us for what they do is because they have their own insecurities, and they don't want to deal with that crap. They don't want to deal with their own insecurities, so they get it in a ball and they chuck it at us. And what I am sort of saying to you is that you can hand that ball of pain back. You can just hand it back to them, because it's not yours to keep. you can hand it back because it's not yours to take on. It's not yours to sort of keep you from doing things that you want to do. It's their insecurities and it's their issue that they need to work out. You know, so we can be judged on how we look. We can be judged on how we parent, whether we bottle feed, breastfeed, if we're a stay-at-home mum, or if we work and put children into care, or maybe a bit of both. We can be judged on having kids. We can be judged on not having kids. Like, it doesn't matter what we do. We will be judged anyway for whatever it is that we decide to do. So you might as well decide to do something that's good for you, that you're happy with. You might as well decide to do something that's in alignment with you, with what you want to do in life. So you might as well crack on and go for it. You're going to be judged anyway, so pick something you love. So I always say to people about the ball of pain, you can always hand it back to them. It's not yours to keep. The reason why that you're judged is because of their own insecurities. You know, things like, oh, well, how come she's gone for that job? How come she's got that job? And, you know, they talk about you like that because they wanted the job, or their fear of them not being successful and things like that. It always stems from their own insecurities. So that's something to definitely think about. So another thing that I wanted to go on is, like mine, like you have judgment in all stages of your life. Like, obviously I had fear of judgment from my experience that I talked to you about before, like social anxiety and things like that because of this friend. But also, like, I have fear of judgment now, like setting up a coaching business and doing these live videos for you, and, you know, coaching other people, like I have clients and coaching them. I do have fear of judgment of doing videos, but the point is that I decide every single day to face that fear. I decide every single day to push past that fear and do it anyway. Like, I'm not here saying, oh yeah, I'm totally fine with putting myself out there every day. I'm not. Sometimes I'm absolutely fine, sometimes I'm not. But I make a decision to push past the fear and do it anyway. And if I didn't do that, I won't be here supporting you. If I didn't do that, I wouldn't be helping people get over anxiety. If I didn't do that, I wouldn't be helping people to realise how freaking amazing they actually are. I wouldn't be able to fulfil what makes me happy if I did not push past the fear of judgment. And also, it's just really key to just decide to face the fear anyway. And a really good example of this is actually my little girl this weekend. We went to a theme park and she wanted to go on a ride, but she was too scared. And not fear of judgment, but a fear at least anyway. And she was too scared to go on it. And she said, Mum, I'm really scared. I'm so scared. I really don't want to go on it. Obviously, that's fine. She didn't want to go on it. But then she said, Mummy, I'm really scared to go on it. But I'm going to decide to go and do it. I'm going to decide to do it anyway. I was like, yes, it's sinking in. So, yeah, just to instill that in your children, to be like, look, yeah, you're going to have fear, but you've got to make a decision. Is it going to hold you back, or are you going to face it and try it anyway? And obviously she decided to go on, and she actually loved it and went on over and over again because she loved it. She faced her fear and she felt amazing after. So it's the same with us. You know, we can feel the fear of judgment, but are we going to let it stop us and not have a life that we want, or are we going to decide to actually face it? So yeah, that is just something that I really wanted to put out there, because we all suffer from time to time judgment from other people, and we have a fear of it, and it does hold us back in all sorts of ways in life. And I just want you to realise that you can face any fear, you can face any judgment that you think is coming your way. Just take a second actually and just feel your heartbeat, whether it's in your wrist or, you know, on your chest. Just feel your heart beating. You know, that is you. You're alive. You have a purpose. You have something in you that you can do with life. This is you. You have a purpose, and if you don't know what that is yet, find out what that purpose is. What are you good at? What are your strengths? What lights you up? What do you actually love doing? and do more of it. Make a decision to make it happen regardless of fear of judgment. And if you do know what it is and you're too scared to do it, decide to face it. Make a decision to face it, just like I do and just like my little girl did, just like I do with these videos and coaching every day. I decide to face the fear and do it anyway. So decide today to face the fear of judgment and just crack on anyway. You're going to get judged for doing it and not doing it. You might as well do it. So I just wanted to leave you with that, and a reminder that my course, my 4-week program, starts a week today. I'm so excited. I can't wait to delve into the course with the ladies that have already signed up. I'm so excited about it, and I can't wait to see their transformation over the 4 weeks, to actually feel more in control with their anxious, overthinking mind, to be a lot more calmer and a lot more in control. And I can't wait to get started for that. So definitely jump on, because there's only 10 places altogether. So definitely message me, or I'll put the link in below to give you to sign up to the course. It starts a week today. Don't miss it. The prices will be going up after this program is run. So if you're thinking about doing it, do it now while the price is this low. So I just wanted to tell you and remind you about that. And also, like, you can do it. You can do anything you want in life. You can go for anything that you want to. Don't let fear of judgment hold you back. Face the fear and decide to do it anyway. Have a good night, everybody, and I'll see you in the group.